What's up, everybody? Good evening. Good evening. We are back. Dr. Jaws here with the Bigeye Sixgill Shark. And I'm so psyched for this species. It's going to be a really cool stream. We're back in the deep ocean, the deep abyss. We've got some really cool... I turned all my lights off, actually, just to kind of like have that deep sea vibe. And we have some nice Metroid atmospheric music in the background. Just kind of like cool spacey deep sea theme. Hey, Howard, good evening to you too. What's up? Welcome back. It's good to see you. This is going to be an awesome species, and reading up on it, like, what's fascinating is that this recently was separated into two species. So, the Bigeye Sixgill Shark, Hexantius nakamurai, has recently been separated into this species, which is in the Pacific and the Indian Ocean. And then the Atlantic Bigeye Sixgill Sharks, Sanchez vitilis, is that what it is? Yeah, vitilis. So that was a recent separation, which is pretty cool. And what's exciting about that is that, six-gill sharks and seven-gill sharks, they're really not that well known. And, when I was growing up, it was always like, it's one or the other. And what's really cool is like we now have 3 species of six-gill and 2 species of seven-gill. And I'm kind of curious if there's more in the ocean. So... as we just discover more and learn more. So there's the sharp-nosed seven-gill, which looks really scary. The broad-nosed seven-gill, which is like a shallow-water seven-gill shark. And then as far as the six gills, we have the blunt-nosed six-gill, which we have some footage of tonight. The Bigeye Sixgill, which is the star of tonight's stream. And it's going to be really cool because it's kind of more like a slender, it clearly has the bigger eyes, but it's kind of more like a slender version of the six-gill shark. And then you have the Atlantic one, which is almost indistinguishable from the Bigeye Sixgill. So I'm really excited about that. Hope you had a good weekend, Howard. I have some really cool fossil news. Hey, Roy, welcome back. I'm really excited for tonight's stream. And also, Howard, thank you so much for this amazing drawing. This one is one of my favorites, and I'm collecting all of them as far as, like we did last year, the end of year, like, shark, art showcase. I'm so excited, it was so much fun adding this to, kind of like that, presentation, and, this one looks awesome. So, I love this piece of art because the proportions are just killer. It is definitely a Bigeye Sixgill Shark. You have the characteristic 6 gills, and the proportions on the eye are perfect. I love his like the curve of his mouth. It just looks so cool, and it kind of really captures what makes these sharks fun. Like, these are massive predators and like really mysterious deepwater deepwater sharks, but they also kind of have this funny face. Like, they have this kind of funny almost smiley face. And I really love that you capture that in the art. So this looks so cool. Thank you so much for sending this over. I also love that addition of the skipjack tuna. What's really cool about this particular six-gill shark species is that it occupies shallow water and twilight zone habitats, so sunlit zone and twilight zone habitats. But so far, it has not been found in water as deep as the more famous blunt-nosed six-gill shark. So it's really cool that there's like tuna in there, where it's like I feel like it's a nice like homage to the fact that it does hunt in shallower waters at night. So I love how this this particular individual just curves, and you get like the characteristic like single dorsal fin, the very elongated upper caudal fin. So it looks so cool. So thank you so much for sending this over. This looks fantastic. So hey Minjus, welcome back. Good to see you as well. So I hope you guys all had a good weekend. I have some fun news, which I will show in this preview. Check it out. So, my girlfriend and I went fossil hunting in like the James River, like Surrey County area, and we found these 3 fossils. I'm really excited because she's never done shark tooth hunting before, and the bottom right one was like I kind of helped her a little bit, but it was like her initiation tooth. So it's the first tooth she's ever found, which is super cool. And also exciting is, as you can see, this giant. We were literally walking back from the beach. And like I was telling her, like, oh, shark teeth are really just hard to find, and we almost stepped on this one, and I just lost my mind. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So So yeah, this is actually, so lengthwise not quite the biggest tooth I've ever found, but I would say like total surface area wise, yeah, Howard got it, Roy got it. It is an extinct white shark. So I this one always this is always tricky, and I wanted to show kind of like one of my favorite go-to fossil websites, which helps me kind of help classify what kind of tooth this is. So it could be Hastalis. It could be Carcharodon hastalis, which I believe is the narrow white shark. I am very curious if it's Carcharodon plicatilis, which I think is the broad white shark or the giant white shark. So we could take a look at kind of what separates them. So I do have some plicatilis fossils, and I think I have a hastalis fossil as well. Both can be found in this assemblage in Surrey County, and I forget if that is the Yorktown Formation or if that is... shoot, I actually should look that up. Okay, I could probably pull that. Let me go grab... I have a guide on that, so I'll go grab that in a little bit. But before I do... I'll refer you guys to this fantastic website. This is fossilguide.com. I think we've seen this before, but this is a great comparison of some of the common great white species, fossil great white species. And I really get so excited about this because I didn't realize that there were ancestors of the white shark and that they were larger than the white shark. There were giant white sharks. And for anyone who may not know, Megalodon is not that closely related to white sharks. We've talked about this on the stream, but we do have some newer viewers. So Megalodon is kind of its own thing. It's this giant, chunky toothed, crazy thing. And white sharks, like the great white shark, those are actually kind of more like super evolved mako sharks, which is really cool. So it's like you have the Megalodon line and the mako shark line, and those are just different. And then eventually there was a group of mako sharks that got bigger and started hunting seals, and those theoretically became the white sharks. So here's all the different white sharks. One of the coolest ones is Carcharodon planus, which I don't know if we actually have that here in Virginia, but the tooth shape is really crazy looking, where it is like this weird hook, like shark fin tooth, like this hooked tooth. So the one that I found is either the giant white, which is Carcharodon plicatilis, and that's what I think it is, or the narrow white, which Howard pointed out is Carcharodon hastalis. It could be either one. Let me go grab my guide really quick. I'll just leave this screen up for a hot second. 1 minute. Okay, probably should have done that. All right, sorry about that, guys. I probably should have done that before I started the stream because I just get so excited about the fossils. So, catching up on the comments. Howard, Megalodon equals Atodus. So Atodus and Megalodon are, the same. So this is so cool. Also, Mingus is really cool. I love reconstructions of Megalodons where they don't look like white sharks but more like weird chunky whalefish things. That's really cool. I haven't seen those Megalodon drawings, but I'm gonna look that up because it's that's actually really, really cool. And I appreciate that because it's I think it helps just narrow in on what Megalodon actually is, because in the 90s and 2000s it was just it just was always referred to as a giant white shark, and the reality is it kind of wasn't. It was just its own thing. So okay, here we go. So my tooth came from either the St. Mary's Formation, which is Miocene, so that is 23 to about 5 million years old. I don't think that's what it is, to be honest, because the place that I went to is called Chip Oaks Park, or Chip Oaks State Park, and they advertise Pliocene teeth. So I think this tooth came from the Yorktown Formation, which is Pliocene. And then the last one is the Shirley Formation, which is the Pleistocene. So Miocene is 23 to, if you look at the top of the screen, 23 to about 5.3 million years ago. Pliocene is 5.3 to about 2.6 million years ago, and then Pleistocene is 2.6 to 0.01 million years ago. It's Monday. I can't do that math right now. So, but anyway, but yeah, like I think so. I believe both the Plicatellus and Hastalis are found in that formation. So let's just take a quick look. Let's see. Maybe meg sharks mimic the shape of whale, like how mako mimics the shape of swordfish or marlin. Ooh, that's cool, Roy. I'm gonna start that. That's awesome. That's really great idea. That's a great point. Like that's a pretty cool theory. Howard, it would have been made it easier for megs to approach the whales. Yeah, that is so cool, man. Dude, I love this stream. This is like you guys are awesome because like that I never thought about that as far as like the not I guess convergent evolution, but just that's so cool. So let's take a quick peek at the difference between Carcharodon plicatellus and then Carcharodon hastalis. And you know, with this in mind, like this is the tooth that I found, and I have the quarter for size comparison, so really nice size tooth. And the thing that makes me think it's Plicatellus is that it's kind of broad, but the root is a little bit more narrow. But we shall see, because shark's teeth are just infamous, like depending on the mouth position, it can be a lot of different things. So let's just take a quick look. So here's the narrow white, which is Carcharodon hastalis. It's global. It's late Oligocene and late Miocene, so kind of could fit, I guess, as far as like where this particular park is located, could fit. So let's see. It is in North America. Tooth description: wide and triangular crown. They look similar to C. plicatellus teeth, but are not as broad. The blade is smooth, and the enamel does not go to the very edge of the root, like in C. plicatellus. So, because it looks like for me, and let me know if I'm getting this wrong, it looks like for me the enamel is going to the edge of the root, if I'm seeing that correctly. What are they saying? Right? Did I have this right? So here's like the hastalis teeth. And I just don't think this is it, because like look, the roots are really big. They're kind of pointed, or like they kind of have like a V shape, and like my tooth is just pretty narrow, like broad, like it's broader, like they said. The root description thing kind of throws me off a little bit. I don't know, and I would love you guys' comments as far as what you think this is. It's not this thing, this hooked white shark, because that's just too unique. Really cool tooth though. Really cool tooth shape, but that's just too much. Escher's white is not it either. I forget why I dismiss this one, but it's like very light serrations. Mine's not really serrated. Yeah, mine's not serrated, so. This is what I think mine is the Carcharodon plicatellus, the giant white. And I'm pretty sure I have another plicatellus tooth from a similar location. It is from the Pliocene, so it's dead center in the park that we were in. Let's see. Very wide and triangular blade. The blade is smooth, the enamel goes to the very edge of the root. The roots are a little shorter and less robust looking than the hastalis shark. And I think this is it, because like this tooth in particular, like if you look at these guys, I think this is what I have. What do you guys think? Like, I'm gonna check up the comments. Oh, whale shark Meg would be dope. That's awesome. Let's see. Meg disguised as a whale shark. That's awesome. Oh, thank you, Minjas. Okay, so I'm not else good on teeth stuff. By the way, teeth are hard. Like, shark teeth, I'm impressed when anyone gets shark teeth right. Like, Howard, also on that note, you have mad skills. I really respect how much you know about shark teeth. Same to you, Roy. You guys know your stuff, and it's like fossil sharks and shark teeth are always so difficult. Oh, okay, Howard. I've seen lots of hastalis that resemble your tooth. Roots do wear down before enamel. This is a good point. However, you are best to go by stratigraphy. So what time period it was? So time period wise, Plicatellus again is from the Pliocene. Let me make sure I got that right. Oh, hey, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, this is a popular tooth to look for in the Yorktown Formation. And this is where this park is from. So I think it's this, because the other one, Hastalis, where are you? These are great fossils, by the way. These are super cool to see. Like this website, fossilguy.com, is awesome. So, because Hastalis is Oligocene and Miocene, and I'm just touching the Miocene, but the park advertised Pliocene, so I think it's Plicatellus. I do think it's the giant white shark, Carcharodon plicatellus. But what's really cool and kind of like a fun caveat that is simultaneously great and irritating is it's a smooth transition through time when species evolve and species transition to new species. So we know it's a Carcharodon. We know it's an ancestral white shark, which is so cool. But it could have been, maybe it's something between Hastalis and Plicatellus. It could be something between, so it kind of looks like a Hastalis tooth, but it kind of is closer to this Plicatellus time frame. So I'm going to go with Carcharodon Plicatellus, and this I'm going to go that this is a that this tooth is a giant white shark tooth. But it could be Hastalis. It could be Carcharodon Hastalis, and it could be like something that kind of came before Plicatellus. It could be a tooth that's further back in the mouth, and like Howard said, it could have been eroded so a little bit too. So, but yeah. Oh, let's see. Just catching up on some comments. And actually, that's a good point. I did not know that roots wear down first. That totally makes sense, but I did not realize that as far as shark tooth hunting. So, that's so cool. Oh, yeah. Min just saw a comment and saving the website. So, yeah. Again, this is fossilguy.com. This is a great resource. Whoever organizes the website, they're clearly absolutely passionate about fossil hunting. It's beautifully organized where they'll have shark fossils based on location, and then they have this awesome page on great whites, and they have a great page on megalodons, too, in terms of, like, what their evolutionary story is. So, but yeah, I really appreciate you guys kind of sharing this with me and kind of joining me on this fun journey, because I just got so excited seeing that tooth. So again, just as a stream treat, if you guys are ever in Virginia, this is Chip Oaks State Park. Chip Oaks State Park. It's in Surrey County. It is frankly the best place. There's places in Virginia that advertise fossil hunting, but this one is the best public place in Virginia that I've been to. Where it's like this is the second time I found a white shark tooth in the same park. So it's really cool. If you're ever in the state, please check it out. And I think you guys are helping me kind of figure out what species this is. It's nice to kind of have a second pair of eyes on it, multiple eyes on it in terms of like pretty sure it's Plicatellus. And for any future availability, it could be Hastalis. And for any future viewers, please leave a comment below as far as like what this could be. So yeah. But all right. Let's move forward in time to a completely different line of sharks. So back to the Bigeye Sixgill Shark. Unfortunately, there's not footage on this, but there is footage on a cousin, the Hixantius griseus. There are a lot of beautiful photographs of the Bigeye Sixgill Shark, starting with, let's go see Andy Merck, so Elasmo diver. What's really cool is, like, for some reason, here's his new website. Here's, like, the new Elasmo diver website. But then here's the old one. And I feel like sometimes when you click on the old one or you spend too much time on the old one, you get referred to the new one. I frankly kind of prefer the old one. It's just really cool. But let's check out some features on the actual six-gill shark species we're working with. And then we'll take a look at a cousin in the footage as far as the blunt-nosed six-gill shark. So here's a slideshow of Hixantius nakamori, the Bigeye six-gill shark. And at the top of the stream, I mentioned this species is actually recently split into two. So if you see this kind of shark, in the Pacific or Indian Oceans, this is still Hexanchus nakamurai, the Bigeye Sixgill Shark. If you see the shark in the Atlantic and the Black Sea, which is actually a lot of our papers tonight are about sharks in the Black Sea, it's actually a new species, Hexanchus vitellus, so the Atlantic Bigeye Sixgill Shark. So, but really, immediately, the thing that I think is interesting about this shark is, it's a six-gill shark, but it's a lot slenderer. It's a lot more slender than its larger cousin. The eyes, clearly are a lot bigger, but this particular species is very graceful looking. As far as six-gill sharks go, we kind of associate them with being like very sluggish, deep water, like kind of just like behemoths of the deep sea. And this shark is a little bit more streamlined, which is really cool. And almost like it's almost like, as far as like being so elongate, it almost reminds one of a close cousin, the frilled shark, in a funny way. Like, very different in appearance, but this species similarly has very large gills. It similarly has a kind of more slender eel-like body, and it's in the same order, Hexantiforms. So really cool. Love these photos, by the way, from Andy Merck is one of my favorite shark photographers. Elazo Diver is one of my favorite shark photographers. I would say Andy Merck and Nick Kalianis, I think, are some of the coolest. Yeah, it's cool to see that this individual is photographed in a shallow water environment, in daylight conditions, which is pretty cool to see. So unlike its cousin, it does spend some time in shallow water. I think the blunt-nosed six-gill shark does that too, but very briefly and at nighttime. And this particular individual, really like it's kind of cool to see that it was in shallow water during daylight hours, but it also occupies the twilight zone. It's a very little-known shark, very rare deep water shark, with classic crazy-looking teeth. If we can get a look on shark references. Yeah, there we go. Incredible jaw set for this species. So the uppers have 3 cusps, and these like really gnarly looking hook teeth recurving backwards. What's really cool is that 6-gill sharks and 7-gill sharks are in the fossil record. So if you see a tooth type like this, you pretty much know what it is, which is very helpful because a lot of other fossil shark teeth are just, they look so similar to each other that it's like, it's just so hard to classify them. The lower jaw is wild looking, just kind of like, it just makes you think of like a chainsaw a little bit, where it's like you have these multi-cusped teeth. Like, is that 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, like crazy looking cusp teeth. And when you look at it, you kind of can imagine the shark gripping prey items with the upper teeth, and then just rolling its head back and forth and just carving out like huge chunks of flesh with the lower teeth. So really nasty bite. Probably a scavenger. Probably excellent teeth for scavenging like whale fall or whale carcasses. So it was going to be cool to read more about the biology of this species. Yeah, just super cool. Howard, awesome. Yes, so the middle tooth, let's go back to that. This small little middle tooth, this circular looking tooth, is the symphesial. So that's a really fun shark tooth fact. So let's see. Oh, and just catching up on the comments. Yeah, Fossil Guy is a great guy. I absolutely agree. Oh, this is fun. The small... Oh, hey, I didn't notice that. I accidentally closed that out. Shoot. I just saw your comment, Howard, that the small gray tooth looks like a lemon. So referring to the fossil teeth that we found. Thank you. Yeah. Because it's so tricky to classify them. I was thinking it was like a Carcharodon of some sort, but lemon totally fits because it's a Carcharodonid. So that helps me a lot. So thank you. The old one has more pizzazz, like the old website. Yeah. So yeah, let's check it out. The difference between the new one and the old one. And not to call Andy out, because I think Andy's awesome. So let's kind of see the quick facts on the new website. So identification, a relatively small cow shark. It's kind of funny. I kind of get why this group is called cow sharks, because I'm assuming it's because they're very sluggish and very kind of like docile looking. But like behaviorally, I honestly don't get it, because it's like they are deep sea titans. They are very like this particular species. Maybe not so much. It's probably kind of more like moderately sized. But the blunt-nosed six-gill shark is enormous and like is like Subnautica. It's a probably for anyone who has thalassophobia, that shark is probably a really great like scary boy. So, but anyway, a relatively small cow shark with somewhat pointed snout, large green eyes, and 6 gill slits. 5 broad saw-like teeth on each side of the lower jaw. Single dorsal fin, origin level with or anterior to the free rear tips of the pelvic fins. Dorsal fin is ventral posterior margin. Pectoral fins relatively small and somewhat falcate. So these are nice great shark descriptions. Maximum length approximately 180 centimeters. So that's a little bit smaller. That's kind of more like, let's see, 180. Actually, no. Let me do that conversion here for the Americans, myself included. It's just, I don't know why centimeters to feet. So it's about 6 feet. So sizable shark. So size of an average person. So, but let's see. A tropical but deep water species, probably confined to the continental shelf, usually 90 to 621 meters, but occasionally near the surface, which is kind of cool. The Atlantic six-gill shark has a patchy range. Again, the Atlantic version is a new species. That's the Atlantic Bigeye Sixgill. Present in Florida. Interesting. We'll definitely take a look at that, because, conservation status, as far as this website goes, says it's not evaluated. We'll check IUCN Red List to see how well the shark is doing. But I do want to hop over to the old website, and I actually kind of want to click around if we can. Last time I did this, it bounced me back to the new website of Elasmodiver. So Andy Merck, Elasmodiver, super cool photographer, really nice, and like, let's see, view all available Bigeye Sixgill Shark pictures. I'm going to click this and see what happens. Okay, this works. We seem safe. Okay, we seem safe. So, okay. So that's a really cool shot of a Bigeye Sixgill right near the surface. This is the one that we saw earlier as well. Yeah, these are the ones that are on the new website, but it's really cool to see this one, kind of on the original website. Very, very close to the surface. So that, it always, like, fascinates me when you see this species, or when you see, like, what is it, the broad-nosed seven-gill, the really speckly one in the west coast. Like, it's so cool to me to see those species in shallow water, because I'm just so used to them being deep water sharks. So I'm going to click around just for fun. We'll click on the Shark and Ray Field Guide. So, and like what Andy has done is kind of like collected species, like photographic species profiles, and he's actually he has an amazing collection. Where when you look at some of these sharks, like the scoop head shark, that's kind of like a rare species nab, as far as, oh, no, this is what happened. Yeah, it kicked me over to the new website. Yeah, so the old website is a little bit booby-trapped, but really great photos of this critically endangered hammerhead. So, it's so cool. All right, so I got to be careful which one I click on. But yeah, let's see what he has. Scalloped hammerhead, scoop head, great hammerhead, bonnethead, black-nosed silver-tip shark. Silver-tip shark is a beautiful species. Ah, it kicked me over to the new one again. Yes. Gorgeous shark species. That is a brilliant shark species. As far as like the tipped sharks go, like the black tip or the white tips, silver tips are probably, the silver tips and the black tip reef sharks, those are probably my two favorites. I just think they look really beautiful. Although oceanic white tip sharks, which are critically endangered, by the way, also an awesome looking species. Look at that. Awesome looking shark. Just like, very like rustic color a little bit, like, kind of more like just ocean, like open sea, like don't mess with this, kind of like, tough looking white tip shark. Very dangerous species, one of the 4 most dangerous sharks in the world, but so cool. Unfortunately critically endangered. It's one of the most dangerous sharks in the world, and it's one of the most endangered sharks in the world. So this will be a good one to do on a stream soon. So, Speaking of which, by the way, we are working on the fossil special so my colleague and I are putting that together, and we should be aiming for late April. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But I'm very excited to do another special with a special guest. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see what else he's got. Great bull shark photos, Galapagos shark, sicklefin lemon shark. That's also a favorite. Triachidae, the smooth hounds. Ooh, nice leopard shark photos. Fun species. It keeps kicking me over to the new website. So, okay. I'll probably stop clicking unless there's something really, really exciting. And I mean, all of these are exciting. Great swell sharks, the file-tail cat shark. Okay, I definitely want to click on the file-tail cat shark. Okay, I promise I'll stop doing this, but... great bullhead sharks, California horn shark, Japanese bullhead shark. We got the 6 gills and 7 gills, white shark, salmon shark, pelagic thresher, nurse shark, Pacific nurse. Ooh, Pacific nurse. This is a new species. Ginglimostoma unami. That is a new species. Very cool. And you could tell it looks really different. It looks actually just like fat, really broad. Wow, that is a weird looking nurse shark. No wonder it's a new species. Yeah, it just looks very compact, very pudgy, huge first dorsal fin. The second dorsal fin not as big. Usually nurse sharks have equally sized dorsal fins. And pectoral fins are huge too. So fat couch potato nurse shark, very cool. Let's see, the Raja Ampat epaulet shark, Ward's woebegone. A lot of great species here. So this website is awesome. I'm just doing a quick look at great angel shark species. He's also got rays too, like really beautiful ray species. I also love that this website, let's see if he's got some of the weird rays. Sawfish, skates. There we go, guitar fishes. So I love that he's classifying guitar fishes correctly as rays. So this one is, for example, it looks so sharky, but it's actually a ray. So, and that's an irritating common name, the shark ray. That's really terrible. But this is a ray, even though it has that. It almost looks like a whale shark, right? With like the spots, you know, those great pectoral fins and everything. The head is, the great dorsal fins. Again, like all rays, the head is fused to the pectoral fins, and the mouth is on the underside of the body. So it is a ray. It is not a shark. It looks like a shark, but it is truly a ray. So I'm getting so distracted by this website. It's just so interesting. Oh, he's even got chimeras here. So anyway. So this is Elasmodiver, Andy Merck, really cool guy, really great website. You know what? And like, I'll just put the link in here, just to kind of give him more traffic, because he's really fun to work with for anyone who wants to do like a shark project or a shark photo project. I love this comment. Oh my god, it looks like a Roomba and a nursing shark had a baby. It's so cute. Yeah, so that would be a fun one. We might want to do that one next week, because like I had no idea that there was a third nurse shark. I'm used to the classic one and then the tawny nurse shark. So that's really cool to see a third one. So, all right, let's check out some six-gill shark footage. So again, this is not tonight's species. This is a close cousin, the blunt-nosed six-gill shark. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to take a look at, and kind of just to kind of get an idea of the behavior. Let's see if we can make that full screen. This is from a channel called EV Nautilist, which we've seen before, and I've subscribed to it because they've got some really cool stuff. I love clips like this that are uninterrupted, so you can actually just focus on the behavior of the species. It's cool to see this shark in the midwater. Well, he was in the midwater column. Now he's hugging the seabed. And yeah, that is a blunt-nosed six-gill, so it just looks a little stockier. The eyes are definitely not proportionally as large. It's moving at a pretty nice pace, actually. So just kind of like, that seems a little bit more active, like not really conserving as much energy. So beautiful body, beautiful slender-looking shark. Probably a mid-size individual. I mean, compared to that sub, that's actually a really good perspective shot. I don't know, 7 to 8 feet maybe. It's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of hard to gauge how big this particular individual is. But there's a couple other really cool clips, and we did this species I think a couple months ago. So some of this footage might be familiar, but it's still good to kind of take a look at as far as like comparing the biology between Hexanchus nakamori and Hexanchus griseus. There we go. And this one is Hexanchus griseus. Really cool zoom in on that face with those beautiful reflective eyes. And this, I think they said this was in Sicily, so this overlaps with the range of the Atlantic Bigeye Sixgill. So this is the blunt-nosed sixgill, but it's overlapping with the range of the Atlantic Bigeye Sixgill, which is Hexanchus vitulus, so new species. So, but really beautiful animal. It's kind of cool to see him. I've been looking. I'm kind of doing like a fun side project on sharks in my part of the world, and I might make a new YouTube video related to that. But I've been playing around with the IUCN Red List as far as like habitat classification schemes. And it's kind of cool to see that like they make a really important distinction between benthic sharks, like sharks that are doing what this individual is doing and staying close to the seabed, and then pelagic sharks, so sharks that are in the water column and like spend most of their time mid-water, not really touching the bottom, even though they may be in deep water. So I just think it's really cool. This is Channel Islands, so this is another blunt-nosed sixgill shark. This is a little bit more slender than I remember, to be honest. Like, because I'm used to sixgill sharks just being really like chonky. There was one caught off the coast of Virginia, I would say in the early 10s. This is actually really cool. These shots are great where you can kind of see the shark compared to the sub as far as a size comparison. But there was a sixgill shark that was caught near Virginia, and that was like 14 feet long. That thing was enormous, and it almost broke the rig when they were hauling it up. And it was for a research survey, so it wasn't commercial fishing. Oh, cool. So see these two green laser dots. Those are submarines use those to measure length. So let me go back to that just to kind of show this. So these two dots are laser lights projected by the submarine to measure length, and they're at a set length. So I would assume the set length is 1 meter, but it could be wrong. If it's 1 meter, this is a huge shark. And this is a way to kind of gauge the size of animals that may not be super close to the submarine, but I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think that's 1 meter though, because that seems too small. This would have to be this would have to be an enormous shark for that to be the case. So, but we'll check out. I wonder if they'll make a comment in terms of how big it is in the description. But anyway, those laser lights on submarines, if you see deep sea footage, you'll probably see them, and they're helpful to just gauge size of animals. That's a cool crab on the bottom, by the way. Almost looks like I wonder what kind of crab that is. Very creepy looking. That is a wild looking crab, actually. Oh, it's a couple. So that's a spider crab. Gotcha. So it's 2 spider crabs. Gotcha. Okay. We have spider crabs in the Chesapeake Bay. They're not that big. They're very small. They actually, this sounds weird, but they ride jellyfish. So they actually will hollow out a space in moon jellies and hitch a ride on them as they drift through the ocean, which is kind of cool. So I have a couple photographs of that. I'll have to find that sometime and show the stream, because it's pretty cool to see. But this one is really awesome footage. Massive deep sea shark checking out an Ocean X submarine. Ocean X is another fun deep water YouTube channel. And this is what I think of when I think of sixgill sharks. Like, this is just gargantuan. Like, huge animal. just, you know, can't imagine. I mean, like I would love to be in the sphere just looking at this, but like for most people you can't imagine what in the world this would be like, you know. I mean, that's like look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's so cool. Oh my gosh, look at the eye, look at the eye. That's so crazy looking. And again, you see the two red laser lights, so that measures length. This guy is just, this is a titan. This is a huge individual. Yeah, I think those are claspers, so I think this is a male. Oh, you know what? This is a female. Never mind. This is a female six-gill shark. So, huge girl. Like, huge, giant. And that's actually really cool, because again, female sharks, like we've been saying, female sharks are larger than male sharks, so they attain a significantly larger size. It's kind of like a rule. So let's see how big this was. I wonder if they have this in the description. Again, it's a blunt-nosed six-gill shark, so it's not our species tonight. Does not say how big it is. Let's see if the other one had a description. Okay, so the scale is 10 centimeters apart. It doesn't say how big the shark that we were just watching is, but they set the scale at 10 centimeters apart. So the laser light is 10 centimeters when they were looking at this shark. So based on that, let's just say this one was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, 19. So 190. So this one was about 6 or 7 feet, if I had to ballpark it, just using like the laser light. So this one, this individual six-gill shark, just kind of estimating, if that is 10 centimeters, then the total I would estimate is like 190 centimeters, 180, which is about 6 feet. So pretty good size for a six-gill shark. But their maximum size usually can be about like 16 feet, which is crazy. So there's one more piece of footage, but I do want to catch up on the comments. So this is so cool. Oh, Roy, I heard they can grow as big as an adult white shark. That's awesome. Oh, Howard, even bigger. That's so cool. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's check that out. Sharks of the World says blunt-nosed six-gill sharks are 550 centimeters, possibly. The maximum size was 482, so 15 feet. 18 feet. So 18 feet is maximum size of a blunt-nosed six-gill shark. Let's see what else we got, which is a huge animal. Large enough to definitely go after, you know, like just whale fall. So wild shark. Last little thing. Again, you get the laser lights. It's really cool that these three videos have the laser lights. Look at that approaching the camera. That's crazy. The laser lights to help estimate length. So the one with the green lights was 10 centimeters. It's kind of hard to tell how big this is. That's really cool. Oh, it's cool how close it is to the submarine too. That's really cool. So 3,300 feet, so that is definitely the midnight zone. Oh, beautiful shark. Huge mouth. Like that individual is particularly large. So very stocky looking. It's kind of cool to see the other six-gill shark clips where they were very narrow, very slender. This guy is a monster. Like just huge shark. Just checking out the submarine. Love to see what the laser setting is. That's unbelievable. Oh my god. moving kind of fast for a deep water shark. We've seen a lot of deep water shark species at this point, and a lot of them are just, very, very slow. Like very, very slow in their movements. But that guy, huge. Oh yeah, let's check out the description. 18 feet. The laser lights 6 inches apart, so this is 18 feet. Let's just take a look. One more look at an 18-foot maximum size six-gill shark. Again, this is a blunt-nosed six-gill shark, so it does get significantly larger than the Bigeye Sixgill Shark, but that's crazy. So these laser lights are at 6 inches apart, so half a foot apart. That's just wild footage. It's so cool. Just imagine that. Like imagine just being like in the submarine, like in the sphere, and like that is just like swimming up to you. Just wild to think about. Oh my gosh. And it's so cool. Again, like this group of sharks, like the Hixantids, the 6 gills and the 7 gills, like, I mean, it's really cool to see that feature because it's just so uncommon in the shark world. Man, 18-foot shark. So this is the maximum size that they get. Largest recorded individual. So just absolute gargantuan 6-gill shark. So cool. All right. So 3 people, excuse me, 3 people long. Man, Howard, with all that dust, this thing would just emerge out of the murk. Yeah, it's just wild, wild. I love watching whale falls. Yeah, actually, Blue Planet, I think it's Blue Planet 2, the Deepwater episode's fantastic, where they have the 6-gill sharks featured in Blue Planet 2. So, if you, I don't know where Blue Planet streams, because I have the Blu-rays, but I imagine, I guess it's on BritBox or whatever the British streaming service is. Let's check that out. Because if you guys haven't seen Blue Planet, it's like I've come around to it. I've had some not critiques, but or let me explain. Like when I started watching Blue Planet, the one side effect I've had was it just sometimes feels like they've covered everything, and so the ocean feels inadvertently a little small. But honestly, the new one, Blue Planet 2, or the newish one, Blue Planet 2, they did go into a lot more detail, and including whale falls and 6-gill sharks at whale falls. So it's awesome. I highly recommend it if you guys haven't seen it. Where to watch Blue Planet? I think it's okay. It's available on Discovery Plus, and I guess Discovery Plus, and I guess Amazon. So. But anyway, I don't have those streaming services. I have analog Blu-ray, which I'm very proud of because for the things that I really like, I have hard copies. So, but anyway, let's check out a nice classic rundown. It's been a while since we've been back to the Florida Museum of Natural History because we've been dealing with a lot of cool species in the Pacific. And Florida Museum of Natural History is kind of more concerned, for the most part, with Atlantic species, so it's kind of fun to come back and see a breakdown of tonight's Bigeye Sixgill Shark. So, Hixantis nakamurae, little is known about the shark's life, but because of its size and deepwater habits, it isn't considered a threat to humans. I love that, there's always that little comment. And I will say, to give Florida Museum of Natural History a little bit of grace, this is the home of the International Shark Attack File, so it is I guess they'll make a comment like that, but it's also kind of ridiculous because it's a deepwater shark that barely runs into people. So, anyway, common name for this shark is Bigeye Sixgill Shark. Other names include Cazon de Fondo, Grisette in French, Grutug seskifahai, Afrikaans. Oh man, look at this. The Grutug, I kind of like this. Grutug zeskiu washai Dutch. I probably butchered that. No other English names, but let's see. Importance to humans, only slight importance of fisheries. Danger to humans, oh my god. There's no attacks, of course not. Distribution. This is not correct now because the Atlantic species. I mean, this is correct in terms of like there were these smaller six-gill sharks in these parts of the world, but the Atlantic ones are actually the new species, Atlantic big-eye sixgill. So, which is really cool. Big-eye six-gill sharks are found on continental and insular shelves at depths from 295 to 1970 feet, so 60 to 900 meters. As a primarily deep water species, the big-eye six-gill shark is usually found near the bottom substrate and may move towards the surface during the nighttime hours. Very cool. Biology. Oh, this is a great photo of this shark. So, and again, the footage that we saw were the other six-gill shark species, and you can immediately tell the difference because of the eye. So, all four clips that we saw were the blunt-nosed six-gill shark. This guy, the big-eye six-gill shark, characteristically has a giant eye. So aptly named, very good name for the species. And it's kind of funny how there's like variants of sharks. There's multiple sharks that have, the big eye distinction. So we got the big-eye six-gill shark, the big-eye sand tiger, and the big-eye thresher. So those are three that I can think of that have this funny distinction. They genuinely have proportionally larger eyes than their cousins. So it's kind of interesting. Let's see. Mouth is ventrally located. 6 gill slits in contrast to 5. This is cool. So other species appearing similar to the big-eye six-gill shark include the blunt-nosed six-gill shark and the frill shark. The distinguishing feature of the much larger six-gill shark is the 6 large teeth on either side of the lower jaw, in contrast to the big-eye six-gill shark, which only has 5 teeth on each side of the lower jaw. Interesting. The frill shark can be identified by a terminal rather than ventral mouth and fang-like teeth. Cool. Let's see. Live specimens have fluorescent green eyes. That's really cool. And you can see that in this photo, so I kind of love that. Maximum size of the big-eye six-gill shark is about 6 feet, or 1.8 meters. The average size of the species is about 6 feet, or 1.7 meters. With weights around 20 kilograms or 44 pounds. So that's actually kind of small for a shark. Because sharks are usually really heavy, so that's actually quite light for as far as a shark goes. So males mature at about 4 to 5 feet, 1.2 to 1.6 meters, and length in females 4.7 to 5.8 feet, 142 to 178 meters. My dad has a dog named Fudge, and I'm now thinking... Actually, no, Fudge is not 44 pounds. Sorry, Fudge is probably about 20 pounds. I got pounds and like kilograms confused for a second because she is like a Bichon Frise mix. So it's like... I was about to say that's Fudge size, but no, like 20 kilos is... It's kind of light for a shark. Too heavy for Fudge, but... Little is known regarding the feeding habits of the shark. Shark biologists believe that it probably feeds on small to medium-sized bony fishes as well as a variety of bottom-dwelling invertebrates. A small tuna was found in one specimen's stomach contents, suggesting that the big-eye six-gill shark may feed at the surface. This is really cool because, again, Howard, thank you for including the tuna in your art. That is so cool. How that lines up. So that's really, really cool, nice detail as far as this species biology. So thank you again. That's such a great piece. Reproduction. The big-eye six-gill shark is ovoviviparous. So this one always gets me. It's lays eggs on the inside, and then the pups are birthed live, but it's not a true placental connection. So it's one of the strangest modes of reproduction. Like sharks can either do egg laying, live birth, or somewhere in between, which is this mode. So, large sharks are potential predators of the big-eye six-gill shark. Taxonomy. This is interesting. So, the big-eye six-gill shark was originally described as Hexanchus griseus nakamurai due to its close relation to the blunt-nosed six-gill shark Hexanchus griseus. However, this name was later changed to the currently valid name of Hexanchus nakamurai. The genus Hexanchus is derived from the Greek exa, meaning 6, and agcho, meaning narrow. The species Nakamura honors Tang's colleague H. Nakamura. Hexanchus, oh, here we go. Hexanchus vitalis is a synonym used in pre-scientific literature that refers to a species. That's actually really cool. Hexanchus vitalis has been resurrected to become the new Atlantic six-gill shark. So this was an old name then it was retired, and then now it's resurrected because we realized that, like, molecularly, the two species are actually different. So, oh, okay, hold on. An interesting side note: Stuart Springer and Richard Waller described the shark from specimens caught in Northwest Atlantic Ocean, naming it Hexanchus vitalis. However, it appears they did not realize that 7 years previously, H.T. Tang described the same species, it's not the same species, in his doctoral dissertation. It is disputed whether Tang's description is a formal publication. In 1991, it was concluded that the name H. Nakamura is a valid name, as copies of Tang's dissertation was widely distributed to Japanese ichthyologists and was originally written. This conclusion is now widely accepted, with revisions expected in upcoming publications. So that's pretty interesting. So, man, very cool looking species. Let's check out its conservation as far as the IUCN Red List. And let me catch up on some comments. So, oh yeah, oh my gosh, Howard, yeah, your art is fantastic. So I love that comment, and I totally agree with Minjus. Like, amazing art as always. Like, it looks so great. So this one is one of my favorites of this year, sincerely. So please keep up the good work, because this looks so good. Just thank you for saying this over. So, I think I saw a different comment. Look into my eyes, Batman. Love that. Oh, this is cool. How there's still a lot down there in the abyss. Man, that's so cool. Yeah, agreed. I mean, again, at the top of the stream I mentioned it's cool that there's 3 six-gill shark species now, because I'm like, how many more are there? Like, I'm like, I feel like we're gonna get more. I just have a funny feeling like we're probably gonna get more 6 gills and 7 gills. So that's just so cool. But yeah, I use Red List, so this is cool. I think Elasmodiver said that the species was data deficient. Now we have an assessment. And just as some trivia, a lot of the sharks have been reassessed in 2019, early 2020s. And I'm really grateful for that, because there was a lot of sharks that just didn't have a lot of data on them, and like now they are reassessed. So this looks like one of them, where it's near threatened. So not great, but like not the worst status as far as sharks go. So let's check it out. Assessment information. The Bigeye Sixgill Shark is a medium-sized deepwater shark known from global yet patchy distribution in the Atlantic. Again, that's not correct now. It's probably outdated, including the Mediterranean Sea and the Pacific Oceans. It occurs in tropical warm-temperate waters in the upper slope shelf and occasionally inshore at depths of 0 to 702 meters. The species is infrequently caught incidentally in demersal, industrial, and artisanal fisheries across its range, and may be more common than currently reported and misidentified with other Hexanchid species. There's distributional overlap with fishing pressure, some refuge at depth, and a lack of species-specific management across its entire range. The Bigeye Sixgill Shark is suspected to have undergone a population reduction of 20-29% over the past 3 generations, 51 years, based on the actual levels of exploitation. It is assessed as near threatened, close to meeting vulnerable. Okay, so that's a little worse than we thought, but again, not the worst thing in the world as far as sharks go. So, excuse me. One thing I was looking at, by the way, I mentioned I was doing kind of a side project. This habitat and ecology section is very interesting to me, because they actually have a classification scheme that they will break down primary habitat types, like marine oceanic or marine deep benthic environments, and then they'll make subdivisions like marine oceanic epipelagic, which is 0 to 200 meters, is also known as the sunlit zone, and then marine deep benthic continental slope bathyal zone. So that's like a mix of the twilight and midnight zone, but close to the seabed. So what's interesting about this is like from a very, very top level view, it's kind of cool to like have this classification and organize sharks by these habitats. I also, like, for my particular project, I am using this as kind of like a guideline, but I am primarily looking into local literature. Just for because I want to make like a revamped list of sharks in the U.S. Mid Atlantic, and I'm primarily looking at local literature because that's going to be the thing that if I have like a regional focus, that's going to be superlative to this. But this is really cool to see though, and probably more practically, it's kind of like a fun thing if you guys want to play around with it. Let's go to the search, the advanced search, because I think this stuff is really really cool. So we've done this before on IUCN where you can do advanced searches on sharks. And we could do this by habitat. So let's go ahead and look at sharks or chordates. They're chondrichthyans. Oops, sorry. But we don't want all chondrichthyans. We just want sharks. So carcharodoniforms. Oop, okay. Sorry, that. Chordates, chondrichthyans. Here we go, okay. So we want carcharodoniforms, which are the requiem sharks or ground sharks, squaliforms, which are the dogfish, erectolobiforms, which are carpet sharks, lambdaforms, which are mackerel sharks, squatiniforms, which are angel sharks, hexantiforms, which are the six-gill shark, or like cow sharks, six gills and seven gill sharks, cristophoriforms, which are saw sharks, and heterodontiforms, which are bullhead sharks. Everybody else is a ray or chimera. So we have all the sharks selected. And let's take a look at habitat. And let's take a look at marine, deep, and thick. And let's look at... Let's look at sea mountain sharks. I'm just kind of curious. And I'm curious for... I think it will have the six-gill shark. So let's look at deep and continental slope, bathyal zone. So really deep water sharks. And here we go. Okay, so we have one six-gill shark. Classified the sand tiger shark as deep and thick. You know what? Let's actually just look at sea mountains really quick. Marine deep and thick sea mountain, because that's a shorter list. Yeah, this is tricky because when you say deep water, you don't think of like smooth hammerheads or sand tigers or blacktip sharks. Let's try one more thing because I just want to see like super deep water sharks. So let's go back to marine oceanic bathypelagic. So midnight zone sharks. Okay, here we go. Okay, well, this is still not great because like I wanted to see deep water sharks, and these sharks, like the scalped hammerhead and the whale shark, they do enter deep water, but they're kind of not like what I think of as far as deep water sharks go because they're famously in tropical environments. So, yeah, that wasn't as cool as I thought it was going to be. So, but I just want to take that detour because it is kind of interesting to play around with. Let's look at this, wetlands inland. What sharks can be found in rivers? There you go. You have the bull shark, the northern river shark, the spear-tooth shark, and the Ganges shark. Interesting. So it's kind of cool to play around with. I'll go back to the six-gill shark, but I just wanted to do a side tangent on this because it is pretty interesting to take a look at this. Artificial, aquatic, and marine. What is this? Artificial marine structures. What does that mean? Woebegons. I wonder if that means like aquariums. Interesting. Okay. Alright, so we'll go back to the six-gill shark, but I just think that stuff is really interesting. So, Howard, habitat is vital to establish potential prey. That's a really good point. Very, very good point. Mingus, better than endangered. The bar for sharks seems low. Yeah, it's sad, but it's true. It is true. Like, a lot of them are critically endangered. I would say a lot of them are like, a third of them are in the vulnerable to critically endangered category. You know what? We can see that breakdown in IUCN on my list because we have all the sharks selected. So let's actually check that out really quick. let's get out of the habitat section. Let's collapse the habitat section. So we've got all the sharks selected, so it's about 500 species. Let's see the red list category. You have 35. I think we might have done this before, but I think it's interesting to take another look at. So 35 critically endangered, 56 endangered, 78 vulnerable, 50 near threatened, 252 least concern, which is nice. Like half of the sharks in the world are actually doing okay, which is good. And then 73 are data deficient, so we don't have a lot of information on them. I'm kind of curious who the data deficient sharks are. Who do we not know about? Okay, so the horn shark really blows my mind because I'm like, that is like one of the most charismatic, popular species in California. And I'm like, how do we not know what the shark is doing? Freckled cat shark, black-tailed spur dog. These are rare. Like New Caledonia cat shark, McMillan's cat shark, no idea. The frog shark, which is a cousin of the Greenland sleeper shark. Caliet's angel shark. That might be a new species. I don't know that one. This is really cool, actually. These are pretty fun because a lot of these are new. Western gulper shark, the somber cat shark, or sombre cat. Yeah, somber cat shark. Yeah. Cook swell shark, flagtail swell shark, South China cat shark, southern mandarin shark. These are cool. Sherwood's dogfish. Interesting. The ginger carpet shark. Lila's lantern shark. That's a pretty name, actually. Painted swell shark. Apisturus bruneus. This doesn't even have an English name, which is pretty interesting. The spongehead cat shark. The quagga cat shark. Human's whaler shark. Oh, that's actually interesting. It's a Carcharodon, so that's like a cousin of like a sandbar shark. That's actually interesting. So these are cool to see. These are mysterious species that we just don't really know. The sailback hound shark, Gogolia, we recently covered that one. The Cormorant cat shark. The grinning Isaac. That's fun. Show more. Vivaldi's cat shark. Oh, the Carolina hammerhead. That one's cool. That's a brand new species. The Error seamount cat shark. Strange. So as you can see, a lot of these are cat sharks. A lot of these are deep water sharks that we just don't really know. The dark snout hound shark. That's actually really cool. The dark snout. That's actually really cool. Hemitriacus epiteta. That's interesting. The dark snout. A watchful protector, a silent guardian, the dark snout. Okay, let's go back to fish base for the Bigeye Sixgill Shark. Thank you guys for indulging me, by the way, because I used to remember this is really cool, and it is fun to kind of like play around with it and kind of see things. So yeah. Big head cat shark and angel shark. Why are scientists so mean with these names? Yeah. That is a badass name. The dark snout hound shark? That is really cool. Oh, Batman smooth hound. Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Hexanchus Nakamurai. The dark snout. I can't stop saying that. That's really fun, actually. Let's see. The dark snout rises. Oh my gosh. Okay. We know the Latin name on fish base. Seeing if there's anything new on this species. Fish base usually doesn't have a lot of new information. Let's see if there's interesting photographs of this guy. It's sad to see like a deceased individual, but the eyes are so interesting looking. So huge, but like also really beautiful with that fluorescent green, that reflective green sheen. So all shark's eyes are really beautiful and just like, they have so much energy behind them. And for this, it's really cool to see a kind of shark that has, proportionally huge eyes, where, it kind of like draws attention to that. So not a lot of, let's kind of see what this is really quick. It's kind of sad seeing landed specimens, but, oh, here we go. More footage or more images. This one looks more in life. Do you know what is kind of wild about this? Look at that. Now, I don't know if this is specimen discoloration, but this has a white tip on the dorsal fin. Actually, all the fin margins are tipped, like have pale tips. This is from Thailand in 2006. So my first thought, well, actually, you know what? Hold on. The back looks a little discolored, so that this could be discoloration from specimen preservation, but the eye looks really good. So part of me thinks it could be discoloration, but part of me also thinks, like, do juveniles or do like individuals of this species have white tips, which is kind of cool. A lot of sharks that are not famously black tip sharks or like white tip sharks, they actually do still have black tips when they're pups. Bull sharks or dusky sharks, they actually have that feature, and then as they age, those tips fade. So, I don't know. Let's see if we can find another individual picture. Let's zoom in on this really quick. This one has a little bit of a white fin margin, but not white tips. This one does have kind of a white fin margin, but not really a distinct white tip. So, interesting. Let's look at this individual in life, the Andy Merck photo. Margins, but not really tips. So, okay. I don't know. That could have been specimen preservation. Hold on. This is Australian Museum of Natural History. Let's take a look at this. Can I look at this? Okay. I guess I'll zoom in on that. This individual has white tips. I don't know. Is this a feature of this shark? Because it doesn't look like super damaged, but it could be just a weird thing about like its coloration. I don't know. This is kind of a sad image to see, but it is also kind of a cool example of the teeth for this species, and also again like the disproportionately huge eye. Let's see, Australian Museum. Let's see what they have to say. Oh, not much. Little is known about its diet. Really interesting photographs, though. So, okay. I'm going to catch up on the comments, and then I think we'll dive into... Oh, Howard! Interesting. White fin tips were mentioned in my reading. Interesting. Let's see. I'm going to check Sharks of the World really quick, too. Shark. Interesting, yeah, okay. Fins usually... Okay, Sharks of the World says this too. Fins usually with white trailing edges and tips, sometimes dusky. So that's actually really cool. Wow! So there's a deep water shark that has white fin tips. Kind of like... I've never heard of that before. So that is so cool, guys. Wow. That is unbelievable. So this is a six-gill shark that has white tips. Just, you know, like that's so cool, because like there's no other shark that I could think of that lives in deep water that has that. Like oh my gosh, this is kind of like a fun challenge. Can you name... Actually, fun challenge for you guys. Can you name all of the tip sharks? Like the sharks that have like black, white, or otherwise like their names are based on the fin tips. Please leave comments in the chat if you can name the sharks with the fin tips, and bonus points if you can name their Latin name. So, but that is really cool that Hexenchus nakamori has white fin tips, because this is the only deep water shark that I know of that actually has that. Yeah, that's so cool. So awesome. All right. So we have a couple of pieces of literature, and I think we have enough time to go through them. Let me move Andy Merck's website over here so I don't get confused. But yeah, so here is Hexenchus nakamori. Nice FAO guide description on this species. And this is interesting. Here's as a synonym, Hexanchus vitalis, which is like the new classification for the Atlantic individuals. But here we go. And that's cool. The Hexanchus vitalis was caught in off Bimini, Bahamas, very famous shark location. I mean, super popular Shark Week. And look at that. There's the white tip. That's actually in the FAO description. So that is so cool. I never would have thought of that. So that's really cool. So here's a nice diagram of the upper and lower teeth. Let's see. Diagnostic features. We don't really need to go into that. Color usually sharply bicolored with underside lighter than dorsal surface. Most fins are prominent white posterior margins and tips, but sometimes dusky. Fascinating. Okay, distribution. So this is now Hexanchus vitalis because this is all the Atlantic. A little known, primarily deepwater shark of continental and insular shelves and slopes from 90 to 621 meters in depth. Usually on or near the bottom, but occasionally moving to near the surface or inshore in the tropics. Biology, yolk sac viviparous, so ovoviviparous, fecundity much lower than in this species than in Hexanchus griseus, with the number of young being between 13 and 26. The reproductive cycle is unknown for the species. Diet sketchily known, but includes small to medium-sized bony fishes, including hairtails, a small tuna, and crustaceans. This shark, when it was observed at bait stations set by submersibles, it appears to be more cautious than Hexanchus griseus in the same area, with individuals not taking baits, although still approaching the bait stations and the submersible closely. Now that's really cool. So the big six-gill sharks, they are totally cool with biting into bait stations. But this guy, this smaller individual, or smaller species, not as comfortable. That's actually a cool piece of trivia. Very minor bycatch. Similarly with Heptranchus perlo, this is a sharp-nosed seven-gill shark. Species-specific catch data is desirable for the species, so we want to learn more about it. It may be more common than thought, but it is often misidentified with smaller juveniles of its larger relative Hexanchus griseus. So that's really cool. Kind of cool trivia note, the species name Hexanchus vitalis is often cited in the literature, but this name is a junior synonym of H. nakamori. Investigated and examined material, including the types of H. vitalis from the Bahamas, and compared it with specimens from Australia, Florida, USA, Indonesia, Kenya, Philippines, South Africa, Taiwan, China, the northern Gulf of Mexico, U.S. Virgin Islands, and concluded these two species were one and the same based on morphological evidence, except now we know that they're not one and the same, they're different. So it's so interesting. Right, let's move on. Another FAO guide on Hexanchus nakamori. I'm going to catch up on the comments. Oh, okay, we got a lot of great comments. Here we go. Okay, Howard, oceanic white tip, yes. Roy, black tip reef shark, yes. Howard Care, white tip reef shark, yes. Oh, Roy, oceanic black tip shark. I think you're right. Let me see if I got. Wait a minute. You might have been joking, but I think you might be. Hold on. That's really funny, actually. And I might have shown my hand a little bit. Okay. Okay, now that's throwing me off. I think you were joking, but there is. Wait a minute. Okay, no. Okay, no. So there isn't an oceanic black-tip shark, as far as I know. I don't think there is, but there is a different kind of black-tip shark. Silver-tip, yes. Longfin white-tip, I don't think that's a shark, a tip shark, but let's see. White-tip, I don't think that is one. Okay, you guys got most of them. Yeah, so I think you guys got all the white tips. Yeah, because as far as I know, there's only two: the oceanic white tip and the white tip reef shark. So awesome. And then Roy got the black tip reef shark and the silver tip shark. Awesome. There's two missing. If I was generous, I would give a leave pass to the oceanic black tip shark, but that's not 100% accurate. So there's two tip sharks missing. One of them is actually very common. The other is kind of a trick question a little bit. But I believe that's it. I don't think there's any other tip sharks than that. I'm trying to make sure. Because if there is a curveball, I would love to throw it. But I think that is it. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. So, but yeah, there's two more. Oh, Roy, good guess. It's not it. That's not what I was thinking of. But that's a really good guess. Black nose shark is a real shark. Okay, that counts. So Atlantic blacktip, also known as just simply the blacktip shark, Carcharodon lombatus. So yeah, that is one of them. And then, Minges, red tip, blue tip, green tip. Awesome. Howard, white tip bamboo shark. That wasn't what I was thinking of, but that's actually a great one because I think you're right that that's a legitimate species. Hold on, bamboo shark. Make sure I got that right. Is it actually? There's the white spotted bamboo shark, but maybe there isn't a white tip one actually. Okay, I'll give a hint for the last one. So the last one is a very close relative of the black tip shark. So it is very, very close to the black tip shark, and it made shark news. What was that, 5 years ago, I would say. And you know what? I just make sure I'm absolutely right about that because I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. Okay, yes, I am right about this. Okay, thank God. Okay, I had to check my facts for a second. Okay, so there's a very close cousin of the black tip shark that made shark news a few years ago. It's kind of a trick question, but... and I'm going to read up on this FAO guide. Let's see if there's any new information on Hexanchus nakamura, the Bigeye Sixgill Shark. Occurring on the continental and insular shelves and upper slopes, usually near the bottom and at depths from 90 to 621. Benthic or pelagic. Okay, so there's new information. Benthic or pelagic, sluggish, bottom dwelling. Not harmful to people. Separate statistics are not reported for the species. Let's see. We kind of have an idea of the distribution. Not much else known on this. All right, we'll keep moving forward. Here's a photograph of one. This is kind of more like a visual guide. And that's actually really cool. It does have a quick look at like treaties, like conservation agreements in terms of like, can you trade the species? It's not on sites. It's not on CMS, so it's it is on GFCM. Which one is that one? Let me look that up. Global GFCM. General Fisheries Commission for the Mediterranean. So it's on that. Okay, interesting. Because it is a species. There's a lot of research on the species in the Mediterranean. And actually, is this? This would actually be really cool. Is this one of those Mediterranean guides? Species photographic plates, Mediterranean sharks. So this would be a great opportunity. We'll take a look at sharks of the Mediterranean because as far as the Atlantic goes, you can make an argument that the Mediterranean is probably the area most in trouble as far as sharks go. And it makes sense. It's completely, it's famously the enclosed body of water, a lot of fishing pressure. You can only get out through the Strait of Gibraltar, and that's a really narrow area. So it's just like, there's a lot of impact, a lot of human impact in that area. Roy, you're so close. I am going to give that to you. So, yeah. Hold on. What is that, Tiltstony? I think that's one. The Australian blacktip shark, Carcharodon tiltstoni. So this is recently reorganized into its own species. And this made shark news because the Australian blacktip shark and the blacktip shark, like the classic one, hybridized. So these were two different shark species that actually were having hybrids. So that was kind of an interesting piece of shark news. But that was it's a trick question because it's like they are two separate species, but it's just like, you know, I think the Australian blacktip shark used to be classified as just a general blacktip shark, like, and then it was recently split up. And then, you know, there's a plot twist in the sense that they are hybridizing. Like the classic blacktip Carcharodon lombatus is hybridizing with the Australian blacktip Carcharodon tiltsoni. So, but you guys honestly did amazing though, because like that you got the classics, which is great. So the oceanic white tip, the white tip reef shark, the silver tip shark, black tip reef shark, Australian blacktip shark, and blacktip shark. So super cool. And now we have the Bigeye Sixgill as a deep water shark with tips. So frosted tips. Oh my gosh, I was watching like a like a late 90s early aughts show. One of the characters wanted to dye their hair with that, and just it's such a weird phrase. But anyway, so let's check it out. Sharks of the Mediterranean. We've got Hyptranchus perlo, which is the sharp-nosed seven-gill shark. What's kind of funny is like this photograph, it actually does look like this also has white fin margins, so that's actually really cool looking. Hyptranchus griseus, it's a really damaged specimen, but this is the blunt-nosed six-gill shark, so the really big one. R shark, Hyptranchus nakamori, the big-eye six-gill shark. Cacaris taurus, the sand tiger shark, so critically endangered species. I think this means do not fish for it, which is great. Yeah, critically endangered. The small tooth sand tiger, Odontaspis ferox, so a rarer cousin. The white shark, Carcharodon carcharis, is kind of crazy that it lives in the Mediterranean. In a weird way, you wouldn't think, but it also makes sense that it lives in Mediterranean waters. So, the short fin mako, Isurus oxyrhynchus. The long fin mako, Isurus paucus, so another Mediterranean shark. Lamnonassus, the poor beagle, our good friend, the poor beagle. So it's great to see this kind of cute snub-nosed cousin of the great white. Basking shark, Cedaris maximus, another classic. Love basking sharks. It's April now in the bay, and I feel like in this part of the world, basking sharks are moving. They're really, really rare down here, and like they're allegedly found in the Chesapeake Bay, in the lower Chesapeake Bay, but it's just so big, and that area is so, like, you know, I mean, it's not super populated, but it's kind of populated. Like, I feel like it's just really rare here. But anyway, they're here in the winter, and now that it's April and the water temperature's starting to warm up, they're going back up to New England. So whatever individuals that might be here are going to be more concentrated in the north now. So love basket sharks. Elopia superciliosus, the big eye thresher. Really cool looking shark. Very strange looking. Like the eyes are huge, and then it has this like strange like humped back here. So pretty interesting looking species. Elopius vulpinus, the thresher, like the classic thresher, also sometimes known as the fox shark. So very cool. Ooh, Galeus atlanticus, the Atlantic sawtail cat shark. I don't know that species, so that's really, really cool. And you see the A case too. So. Galeus melastomus, the blackmouth cat shark. That one is a little bit more familiar. Again, you have the A case there. Scalerinus canicula, the small spotted cat shark. Really cool. Scalerinus stellaris, the nurse hound. I don't know that one. I love that this guide also has the A cases. Galerinus galeus, the taupe shark, classic species. Musculus asterius, the starry smoothhound, really beautiful. Musculus, the smoothhound, like the original OG classic smoothhound. Musculus punctulatus, the black spotted smoothhound. This is really cool. There's 3 species of smoothhound in the Mediterranean. Carcharodon ultimus, the big nose shark. This one is fun because it kind of gets confused with other species. So sometimes people confuse this with sandbar sharks. But yeah, that's actually really cool to see. Very robust looking shark. Oh, Carcharodon brachyurus. This one would be a lot of fun to do someday. This is the copper shark, also known as the bronze whaler. This one's a little dangerous. So this one has been implicated in a couple shark attacks. So, and it's not really well known. Like as far as pop culture, it's not a very well known species, but very cool, very beautiful animal too. Carcharodon brevis, the spinner shark, fun little guy. Carcharodon falciformis, the silky shark, beautiful, beautiful species, classic ocean species. Carcharodon lymbatus, the blacktip shark, so the classic blacktip. This is crazy. Carcharodon melanopterus, the blacktip reef shark. So that's wild to me that they live in the Mediterranean, because I'm so used to them being like Indonesian, like Indo-Pacific, Australian, like tropical sharks, like reef sharks. So it's kind of amazing to see that it actually lives in the Mediterranean Sea. That's awesome. Carcharodon obscurus, the dusky shark, classic, like really, really super endangered shark species. One of the most important shark species for conservation. Carcharodon plumbeus, the sandbar shark. This is a pup, so not the greatest example because sandbar sharks have enormous dorsal fins. So just not the greatest showcase of what the species, how to identify a species, but still, still not to knock the pup. I love the pup, but they, as they get bigger, they have these characteristic huge dorsal fins. So Cuvier, the tiger shark. Just what can you say? Like charismatic, classic. Prianus glauca, the blue shark, same thing. Beautiful, beautiful species. Rhizoperodon acutus, the milk shark. So this is a cousin of the Atlantic sharpnose shark. I assume this is probably a very successful species because Atlantic sharpnose sharks are doing really, really well. Sphena lewini, the scalped hammerhead, one of my favorites, and unfortunately a shark that's really, really doing poorly and needs a lot of help. You can see down here it is in CITES Appendix 2 and CMS Appendix 2, so these are conservation agreements in terms of like managing trade on this species. You really cannot take this species. Sphena macaron, the great hammerhead, cool looking shark, like a very intimidating looking build. Also critically endangered, unfortunately. Sphena tuta is a small eye hammerhead, also critically endangered. I did not realize that they were in the Mediterranean. Sphena zygina, the smooth hammerhead. As far as hammerheads go, not as bad. I forget if this one is endangered or vulnerable, but doing a little bit better than the other ones. Oh, you've got some deep water sharks. So Delatius lica, the kitefin shark in the Mediterranean. Amatra spinax, the velvet belly lantern shark. The Portuguese dogfish, Centroschimus coelolepis. Somnius stratus, the little sleeper shark, so little cousin of the Greenland shark. Oxynocentrina, the angular rough shark. We remember this guy, so that was a fun stream because they're very cute, like pudgy couch potato looking sharks. Centrophilus granulosus, the gulper shark, very, very important deep water species as far as conservation goes. Squalus acanthius, the classic dogfish, the piked dogfish, or spiny dogfish. Squalus blainville, the long-nosed spur dog. This one's really cool. It's really, really pronounced spines here. Squalus megalops, a short-nosed spur dog. I don't know that one that well, actually, so it's cool to see other kinds of dogfish. Echinorinus brucus, a bramble shark, another one that we recently covered, so it's fun to see that that is a Mediterranean species. And the angel shark. So this group is probably the most important as far as the Mediterranean goes. These are really not doing well. The Squatina aculeata, the sawback angel shark. Squatina oculata, the smoothback angel shark. Both the Latin names and the common names are really, really irritatingly similar, actually. Like, that's a little tricky, and because both are not doing so well. So it's like, oh boy. Squatina aculeata, the sawback angel shark. Squatina oculata, the smoothback angel shark. Oh man. Squatina, the classic angel shark with those beautiful ripple markings on its back. So that'll be a fun one to do on a stream. And that's it. So yeah. So it's cool to see kind of the collection of species in a certain range. So oh hey, fun comments, hold on. The Guy Fieri shark, yeah. Shark mudshots are wild. Yeah, it's so cool. Why is it called a milk shark? Rhizoperodon acutus. I'm not sure, actually. You know what? Let's check that out. I wonder if Shark References, or sorry, Sharks of the World has that. And by the way, since it's 10:30, please let me know what you would like to do for next week. We've got a lot of good choices here in the Mediterranean if we want to do that, or we could do something completely different. I'm going to look up the milk shark. My guess might be something to do with reproduction as far as the placental connection, and sometimes they describe it as uterine milk, but that is my guess, but otherwise I'm not 100% sure. So let's check this out. I wonder if Sharks of the World has this. Okay. So Carcharodon is a really interesting group because there's so many different kinds of them. And it almost is surprising how many different kinds of them are. Okay, let's look at fish base. How about the milk shark? All right, so we'll do that. We are going to do the milk shark. So, and we'll learn next week why is it called a milk shark. So we'll save that in suspense for next week. So milk shark, Rhizoperodon acutus, right? That was it. Rhizoperodon acutus. Awesome. All right, so milk shark next week. This one is going to be cool because I predict it's probably doing very well again because it's like the Atlantic shark is just really, really successful. So, but that'll be cool to do next week. So, all right. We'll wrap up tonight with more seven-gill shark facts. So this is a cool classification guide. I believe this is also Mediterranean focused. So we got the Hexantiforms. You can split it up between 7 pairs of gill openings versus 6. So if it's 7, it's a sharp-nosed 7-gill shark. Great illustration. So that's a really nice illustration, like really gnarly looking teeth. And then you got the other two, the blunt-nosed 6-gill shark and the Bigeye Sixgill Shark. So the thing that splits these up as far as this guy goes is that the origin of the dorsal fin almost over the anal fin origin. Okay, and then the origin of the dorsal fin well ahead of the anal fin origin. Okay, so that's actually really cool. So these red lines are showing you the positioning of the dorsal fin versus the anal fin. And the fin positioning is really a useful feature, especially for like Carcharodon. It's a very useful feature for trying to physically tell shark species apart. So that's pretty cool. So yeah. Large demersals. So that means large sharks that live on the bottom. Let's see what else. Oh, I guess that's it. So in this little classification guide, that's what they've got. Kind of curious what else is here because I think this is a Mediterranean guide. Yeah, they have a splitting up of the different... Yeah, so I think these are mostly the same families in the Mediterranean, or same species in the Mediterranean. These all look the same. So I think this is another Mediterranean guide. Very cool. Actually, this is a great example of what I was saying as far as, like, you need to know the fin positioning. Like big nose shark, you can see that the origin of the dorsal fin is kind of midway through the pectoral fin. You know, little details like that, that's how you can tell species apart. It takes a long time to master that. The best one that's a great case study is the dusky shark, where the origin of the dorsal fin is right behind the free rear tip of the pectoral fin. That's really like the only way to tell that species apart from others, you know, and it's just notoriously difficult to do that. Because like here you go, you've got like the spinner shark, but it's like still kind of tucked in between the pectoral fin margin, so it's just like, oh man, it's just so tricky. So, but we'll move on because I think this guide was just kind of breaking down classification or just field identification of the Bigeye Sixgill Shark versus its larger cousin. So let's see. This, I don't think I have time for this study. Okay, this one's kind of interesting. So this is by Sylvian Adnet. So biometric analysis of the teeth of fossil and recent hexanthid sharks and its taxonomic implications. So I'm kind of curious about this. We'll take a look. because we were talking about sharks' fossil teeth earlier. So, a biometric analysis of the lower teeth of recent cow sharks, Xanchidae, investigates the ontogenic and phylogenetic aspects of the dental characters employed by many ichthyologists and paleontologists. There we go. The dental character is currently used to separate two extant species of six-gill sharks, so the big one, or like the blunt-nosed six-gill, and then the Bigeye Sixgill, are analyzed and the fossil record of the relatives reviewed. The main results suggest that the cusp number ratio, number of cusps per millimeter, is preferable to width of the lower tooth for inference of total body size, at least in species of Xanchus. We won't read maybe the whole abstract. 3 Eocene species of Xanchus, Xanchus collinsoni, Xanchus hookeri, and Xanchus agassizi, and a new assemblage of fossil teeth from the late, Parisian, early Lutean, early Middle Eocene, in southwestern France are also analyzed. Interesting. Xanchus agassizi, belonging to the Vituliform lineage and closely related to the living Xanchus nakamura, is considered to be here the only species of Xanchus of the lower to Middle Eocene. A brief overview of Paleogene and Xanchus suggesting no evidence of griciform group. Okay, it's really cool. So I want to see if they have any like phylogenetic trees about six-gill shark teeth evolution. Here's a nice detail of Xanchus griseus, so the blunt-nosed six-gill shark tooth. This is a really cool assemblage here. So we won't spend too much time on this study, but I just want to see. Wow, look at all of these. Okay, figure 2. Xanchus griseus is all of these? A through L. And Xanchus nakamura is M through O. Okay, so A through L are the are the blunt-nosed six-gill sharks, so like the larger cousin. Great looking teeth. And then the lower figures M through O are the Bigeye Sixgill Shark. So these look a little bit more compact, I want to say, because these it looks like the cusps are a little bit more individual, like they're a little bit like more separated from one another, whereas like the Bigeye Sixgill Shark, it kind of looks like more of like a consistent blade. They looked a little bit more packed in together. So these look like fossil teeth. Look at these. Let's see. Fossil Xanchus lower teeth from the what did they say? That was Eocene, the Donzac Formation in France. So let's see. It doesn't give a species, so these are just ancient Xanchus teeth. But imagine picking one of these up. I'm pretty sure we have fossil six-gill teeth or Xanchus teeth in Virginia, but I've never found one. But I'm pretty sure we do have it here. So, but this would be such a cool one to find, honestly, because it's just so unique looking. Just like the single root with like the multiple cusps. It's like it's unmistakable. And then here's the symphysial. Howard mentioned that kind of close at the beginning of the stream, but here we go, a symphysial tooth. So the tooth that's in the center of the jaw. It's really cool. Let's see. This is a cool diagram showing like the number of cusps in a tooth relative to body length. So, but I'm just kind of going through. I just want to see if there's a phylogeny, and there really isn't. So, oh, here we go. What is this? Okay. Oh, cool. So this kind of shows you Xanchus or Xanchidae fossil or teeth, like, and where they were collected. So you have Xanchus griseus, the blunt-nosed six-gill shark, which is recent. Xanchus nakamura, the Bigeye Sixgill Shark, which is recent. This should be Heptranchius perlo. This is the sharp-nosed seven-gill shark, which is recent. Nodorhynchus hepidinias. This is the broad-nosed seven-gill shark, which is recent. And then here we go. We've got some ancient six-gill species. So this is an early Paleocene Hexanchus, Hexanchus microdon, Hexanchus agassizi. So late Paleocene, Eocene. Let's see how old that is on the chart. Paleocene is 66 million years ago. That's crazy. Eocene is 56 million years ago. That's wild, actually. It's so cool how they can look at something so small and specific and go to, yeah, this is conclusive evidence. I love that. Oh my gosh. How would they do come up with something huge? Like the teeth. That's so cool. Like, let's see. Hexanchus microdon. Hexanchus agassizi. It's incredible to see how old these are because I'm showing you guys off the top that I found. That is not anywhere near as these formations. So Hexanchus is really fine. So that's really cool. We'll keep moving forward. Redescription of Hexanchus nakamura with designation of the neotypes. I want to see what this is. Oh, this is a nice, short, and sweet abstract. Hexanchus nakamura. So this is by David A. Ebert, very famous shark scientist. William T. White and Xuan Xing Ho. Okay. So Ebert is, I think he's on Shark Week sometimes, but he's like a very established research name. So at least for like kind of more like, actually for a lot of different kind of shark species. So, but anyway, Hexanchus nakamura is one of two valid nominal species in the genus Hexanchus, the other being Hexanchus griseus. The taxonomic history of Hexanchus nakamura is somewhat convoluted due to questions about the validity of whether it constituted a publication or unpublished dissertation. So it's interesting drama as far as shark research world. By the way, fun fact, the shark research world has a lot of drama, and I don't think it's professional for me to, like, dive into it too much on the stream, but it's like there's a lot of drama in the shark research world. It's because, I mean, like, as a sidebar, sharks are so charismatic. It's charismatic megafauna. It attracts a lot of really cool people. And, sometimes there could be people who have, other interests and, big personalities. And it can be kind of, it could be a little weird sometimes. So, but, yeah. That should be, a lost episode. I should make a lost episode, spilling all the tea of shark stuff. But, but that's just really, that could be, a weird... If I retire, I'll spill all the tea. But anyway, let's see. Taxonomic history, unpublished dissertation. So yeah, that just reminded me of that, where it's like, I'm curious if there was drama in that. This is from the 90s, so, but I'm just kind of curious if there was drama behind that. The issue appeared to have been resolved once it was determined that the Tang's original description met the criteria under the International Commission on Zoological Nomenclature. Oh my gosh, it's been forever since I've seen this. This is so funny. Yeah, take a sip of tea for that. So the International Commission on Zoological Nomenclature, it is really important. This is the body that basically validates scientific names. But it from kind of a non-involved perspective, it's kind of funny. It's like there's so much emphasis on the name, there's so much emphasis on the proof of the name, there's so much detail on it that it just, from an outside perspective, it's a little silly. It's or not silly, but it's almost kind of it almost seems ridiculous at some level, where it's there's so much emphasis on the names and stuff. But it is important, I mean, because it is actually the bedrock of, how do you make conservation decisions? What is a species? What makes it an individual? So it's critically important. It's just kind of funny. It's been forever since I've seen that. The International Commission on Zoological Nomenclature. It reminds me of, I don't know if anyone's, a Terry Pratchett fan. And I haven't really read the books, but I've watched the shows, the British, I think it was British, adaptations of Terry Pratchett. It's a lot of fun. And there's a scene where there's a music guild, and you have to do all of these, you have to pay into the guild in order to play music, and you have to follow all these laws in order to play music. And it's there's just so much red tape and bureaucracy, and it just is kind of funny. It reminds me of that a little bit, but I don't mean to knock this because it is critically important. It's like law. I mean, honestly, where it's like law is like, you know, and my girlfriend could speak about this more than I could because she's law oriented. But like, you know, you have to be very, very, very specific and very like, you have to have these cases. You have to have these like really, really get in the weeds descriptions of things in order to like prove anything, I guess. So, sorry, that was a random tangent on the International Commission on Zoological Nomenclature, but like, yeah, it's the body that validates names. Anyway, however, recent molecular studies have indicated that the western North Atlantic H. nakamurae may be distinct from western Indian Ocean H. nakamurae. Compounding the issue is the loss of the holotype of H. nakamurae from Taiwan. Oh my gosh. A neotype is herein designated, and the species are described based on the neotype and 8 additional Taiwanese specimens. It's so funny. So this species has shark drama, which is very probably boring for the rest of the world, but you know, it's funny in some way. So, oh yeah, here we go. Oh, I love these comments. Hold on. I'm trying to find this again. Okay, a shark research drama. Can you have your own shark drama news show? Oh man, part of me would love that. Part of me would be like, oh, I would annoy a lot of people with that. So, professional jealousy. I love this comment, Howard. We had Marsh and Cope. It doesn't get more dramatic than that. Petty. So those were Marsh and Cope were famous paleontologists, right? Like very famous paleontologists, I believe. So, yeah. Oh, how can you make scientific advancement when you feel compelled to defend your theories on a personal level? So that is the heart of it. That is so interesting because that really kind of gets to the... So, okay, I can spill a little bit of tea because that actually brings up a really interesting point, which is like... oh, what drama? I'm so sorry. I just saw your comment. So no drama happened. I was just making a comment that the shark... Oh yeah, the holotype was lost. So the holotype of the Bigeye Sixgill Shark was lost, which is really funny because this species has been like... So let me go back to this. And I was making just a general comment on shark drama in general, and just so I could tie everything together. Howard made a really good comment of how can you make scientific advancement when you feel compelled to defend your theories on a personal level. So that is that's a great comment that is kind of at the heart of, I think, maybe all of science in a funny way, where, you know, academia is very competitive and like shark research is very competitive, and you have to really, you know, you have a lot at stake with the research that you do, and like, you know, you're really putting a lot of skin into the game as far as like you're defending your thesis, you're defending your research. And with that pressure and with that peer review, there can be drama. There can be like competing for positions and butting heads, and like how do you build your CV? And it's like there's a lot of pressure in academia, and a lot of pressure to present research, and like it's kind of funny. Like the actual process of doing your study and doing your dissertation can be a very convoluted, dramatic process. The core of what you're doing is adding to the body of knowledge, which is awesome. The core of what you're doing is adding to science, which is really, really cool, and noble, and like bigger than yourself, which is really cool. But what's kind of funny is like the road to getting there. It can be dramatic. So that's just kind of like shark stuff in general. Not with everybody. Like I've met shark scientists who are just the coolest people ever, and just like super down to earth, and love their research and love sharing it with people. And I don't think I've ever met a shark scientist who's been weird. But I have heard stories of shark scientists who have been weird. So, and I would say, you know, with such a charismatic animal as sharks in general, you can attract people who are kind of like, you know, very proud of what they're researching, and may want to let everybody know about that. But what's funny about this particular paper and for this particular species is that, oh gosh, this is so convoluted. So the shark tea is the type specimen for Hexanchus nakamurae was collected in the Bahamas, and it was called Hexanchus vitilis. Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. No. Hold on. This is so convoluted. No. Okay. No. This is what happened. I'm sorry. This is so silly. Okay. The type specimen for Hexanchus vitilis was collected in the Bahamas. So I forget who did it, but they collected it. And then in 1991, Tang? Who is this? Tang. Wait a minute. Okay, Tang, a researcher named Tang, collected in Taiwan Hexanchus nakamurae, and it's named in 1962. But when Tang was presenting on this new species, the way he did it created a taxonomic dispute, and it is the validity of whether it constituted a publication or an unpublished dissertation. So when Tang named this species, when he named Hexanchus nakamurae from his specimens in Taiwan, there was this confusion of like, well, wait a minute, does his research count because it wasn't formally published? Like, was this like a dissertation or was this an actual submission? And so that started shark drama, where it's like, is Hexanchus nakamurae a real thing amongst some people? And simultaneously they realized, oh, hey, that Bahamas Hexanchus vitilis, that's actually Hexanchus nakamurae. They're actually the same species. So, hey, Hexanchus vitilis people, you've got a junior synonym of Hexanchus nakamurae, so too bad, it's all the same species. And then fast forward to now, they're not the same species. Like, they're two different species. So the people who found Hexanchus vitilis were right, and like were right to name that name. And then Tang, who found Hexanchus nakamurae, lost the type specimen. And it like during this whole dispute of like, well, is it like is Hexanchus nakamurae and Hexanchus vitilis the same species, or are they actually two different species? And so it's just really funny. It's just, this is so convoluted for one shark. Like, that's basically, I think I got it. I think that's basically a summary of what happened. So this was a weirdly described species, weird name, kind of not contentious, but kind of like debated whether or not it's a valid name for it. It turns out to be two species to begin with. So it's just kind of funny. So it's so funny, but okay. Oh, Howard, I just saw a comment. Howard, just watched Shark Week. LOL. Yes. Shark Week is actually a great little microcosm of shark world drama. Like, because there's some... Shark Week's actually... Shark Week is a great example of this because there's some researchers showed in Shark Week that I think are great. And like one that I think of is Craig O'Connell. He's a very famous shark personality, but like he's super cool. He seems super fun, and just down to earth and like there for the animals. And then there's like Shark Week people who are like, you seem really into yourself. So I don't know. But then again, I mean, I have a YouTube channel and I'm doing these live streams. So like, who am I to talk about like, ego? So like, oh my gosh. Oh, Lego, Roy, they dropped it like it was a small Lego piece. Now it's gone. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, Minjas, you put words in the feeling I've never been able to express. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, because I felt like I was like convoluted about that. But yeah, like for real, like academia is an interesting world, and there is... As far as a field, I think there's kind of sometimes like an unusual amount of pressure compared to other fields. Like if you compare like academia to like, like maybe working in corporate it's different. Like there's always pressures everywhere you go, but like academia is a unique kind of like pressure that I don't think really is very well known in the public. So, but anyway, oh my gosh. I love this comment. It somehow goes from messy to messy. So how do you lose a type specimen? Really great question. Like I give a little bit of a leave pass to older specimens. There have been like I think museum specimens that have been like lost in fire or something like that. But oh, thank you. But you're like the shark guy. I thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Let's tease. Oh, Howard. Yeah, great call. Let's tease wild sharks and call it science. Okay, so yeah, I have one more tangent related to Shark Week because that just brought this up, and then I know it's 11, so I know we'll have to go in a little bit. But like, uh, oh my gosh, there was a really, there was a really stupid show. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm just gonna call this out because it's not science. It's not science. Um, there was a really stupid show where like I cannot believe Shark Week got away with this. Like they were filming great white sharks in South Africa, I want to say, and then it was two great white sharks that were swimming close together, and the presenters were like, "Oh my gosh, they seem like they know each other. Oh my gosh, they're brothers." Like, what? I'm like, what? Where are you getting that? Like, how do you know that? Like that shit cracked me up and also made me angry because it's just so stupid. It's just like it's based on nothing. It's like you're filming two great whites in an area that you like, like there was no convincing evidence that those two sharks were genetically related like that closely, and it's just ridiculous. So and I guess it's like a narrative for ratings or something like that, but it's really stupid, and like it just confuses things. I mean, because it's like most people just don't really know how sharks work, and like how like I mean I would be shocked if two great white shark siblings cared that they were like, related. You know what I mean? Like sharks are just like they're on a different wavelength, and they're not like super social species. Like there is some interesting studies on shark sociology, but they're not like super social species like whales or something like that. Like you could make that argument for like whales, but for sharks, it's kind of like what? So it was such a bizarre thing. So I will say, small caveat, great white sharks, I believe there's been some studies about them being kind of proportionally a little bit more intelligent than other sharks. And it makes sense because they have to hunt in a complex sensory environment where they're hunting seals, an animal that sits on the rocks and then dives into water. Like the great white sharks, in terms of being able to hunt seals, like kind of evolved more sensory capabilities than other species. And like, so I will give a small like nod to great white sharks. There's been speculation that great white sharks are maybe slightly more intelligent than other shark species. Conversely, there's been speculation that basking sharks are slightly maybe, I don't want to say less intelligent, but like they have like maybe less of a need for complex predatory sensory capabilities because they are plankton feeders. They have an easier access to prey. So, but anyway, the whole brothers thing was just absolutely ridiculous. It's just like, just filming two sharks swimming closely together and being like, they're brothers. It's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? So anyway, oh my gosh, yeah, they somehow gave evidence for it afterwards, and I'd be fascinated. I would be same here. I would be fascinated if they gave evidence, but they really don't. So yeah, Roy, great white number one. You are the father. Oh my gosh. Howard, it encourages stupid behavior. Agreed. There's a lot of dude, there is so many controversial shark people because again, I mean, love sharks, and a lot of people love sharks, and they're just so charismatic that they attract a lot of people. And unfortunately, they do attract like weird people who like. Oh man, the most famous one is a guy who tried to acclimate himself to bull sharks, and was very confident. This is a famous one from like the 2000s. He would wade in the water with bull sharks every day, and like would try to acclimate himself to them, and he got bit because it's a bull shark. It's like, I love bull sharks, like, but like, those animals need to be respected. Like those are dangerous, opportunistic animals. Like, it's the same thing as like going into a lion's den and like acclimating yourself to the lions. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't do that. Like, because it's, that is a predatory animal. That is an animal that, like, it's not your friend. It's not your buddy. Like there's a certain level of respect that needs to be given to that. So, oh my gosh. Oh, hey, cool. I really appreciate your comment, Midges. The great white basking shark intelligence thing is really cool. I agree. I don't know too much about it, but I've heard like little snippets of it. But I do think it's really interesting. It kind of makes sense too. Like, like just hunting seals versus eating plankton kind of makes sense if evolutionarily these two sharks may have evolved differently. I think, kind of taking it back to paleontology, if I'm not mistaken, I think it reminds me of Stegosaurus, like the dinosaur, where I think they say that Stegosaurus has a small brain, but because part of it is because it was a herbivore, but I'm not really sure. So, oh my gosh. Oh, Howard, yeah, remember when all the docs saying great whites were solitary creatures? Yeah, and then like famously there is White Shark Cafe, so a place in the middle of the Pacific where great white sharks aggregate, probably to mate, but yeah, and then also literally like that footage is like, yep, those are they're sharks in close proximity. Does not necessarily mean they're genetically related, but like white sharks not necessarily solitary. So I'm gonna just take a look. I just want to see if there's anything kind of cool. I know it's 11. That's a kind of a cool study, but we don't really have time to break that down. Oh, here we go. I did want to see this. So it is a little guess of like six-gill shark evolution, just based on genetics. But it kind of is pretty self-explanatory because the six-gill sharks are more closely related than the seven-gill sharks. So. There's a record of a six-gill shark in Mexico, but this actually could be the new species, like, so the Atlantic Bigeye Sixgill. And then finally, what else did I have? I just want to see if I can get photographs of the shark. Bigeye Sixgill in Albania, or Albanian waters. That actually does not look like one, because the eye looks a little bit smaller. And then a summary of Bigeye Sixgill sharks, but I don't think there's any new information because again we don't know a lot about this species, so pretty rare shark. So but yeah, we'll leave on Andy Merck's website because I just think it's really cool. Actually no, let's leave on Howard's drawing because it's really cool species description of this animal, and like again, love that you captured the look of it. So oh my gosh. Well, oh, hey, Howard, Stegosaurus has a small brain but a lethal defense system. That's a good point, because it's like, that is complicated to orient that to potential predators. So maybe it's more intelligent than we think. So, but thank you guys so much for watching. This was a really fun stream between the six-gill shark, the fossils, IUCN, just looking at the habitat breakdown, exploring Andy Merck's website, and then kind of getting a little bit into shark drama. Like I won't be able to share a lot because like I just I want to be respectful-ish, but like but maybe one day maybe I'll film like a lost episode and then like maybe have a like an unnamed release date, and then it will be like you'll know like if a sudden episode comes up, it will be like the Shark Tea special. So, which, I'm not opposed to doing that. That would actually be a lot of fun, but I would probably have to like, have arrangements as far as like, pulling that off. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love our conversations because it's like, this chat was on fire tonight as far as just like the science, the research, the dialogue. You guys are great. You guys know your sharks and your fossil sharks, and I really love doing this stream with you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and next week we will cover the milk shark, Rhizopriodon acutus, and we'll try to figure out, why did it get its name. So please feel free to leave a comment in terms of like why you think the milk shark is named the milk shark, and yeah, I'm looking forward to covering that one together. So this is gonna be super super fun. So, oh yeah. I mean, just today I learned shark drama is a thing, so I'm happy for that. As Shark Tea Special will be so fun. We all know it when we see it. So, oh my gosh, you guys know. You guys are in the know. So, but thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next week for the milk shark. So, cheers, guys. Have a good one.